Hello everyone, and welcome to the very first Pokebattler live stream. Today we'll be discussing the recent addition of Mewtwo as what I'm calling a tier 6 boss, for lack of a better word. And this is my first time doing this, so I'm sure I'll mess up a lot. But, oh hi, someone already said hi. But feel free to ask things in chat. I'll try and respond if it's somewhat about what I'm talking about, but let's leave most of the questions for the end. We do want to try and use this video as the main YouTube video for the article site, so let's just get right to it. So Mewtwo came out. It was very exciting. I've had a very, very busy day. I, of course, have a full-time job, and the last couple days have been another full-time job on top with Pokebattler. And it's because Niantic surprised us. The most obvious thing when you first try and join a Mewtwo raid is it has 60,540 CP. That's a lot. There was some question at the beginning as to what exactly that meant, and conveniently it was exactly 50% more hit points. Plug into the formula and it now pops the number, so pretty sure about that. We've also had a few people check to make sure the breakpoints are the same. Everything looks same. So it's basically the same as a tier 5 raid boss, just with 50% more hit points. So the fight will be quite a bit harder. Before, Mewtwo could be duoed. Now you can trio it if you have a bunch of like Gengar, or you have the right weather boost. Most people should really be looking at 4 to 5 trainers, and don't have Pokemon on this list at about level 30, 35, somewhere in there. You probably want 6, 8. But hopefully you can get the Pokemon on this list. They are not that rare. If you're level 30 and it's weather boosted, there's a lot of good options there. Quite good for you. So let's see. One other thing is the tier 6 raids are available for any raid on Pokebattler.com. Go change the settings, and you can see what just exactly how hard Regice will be if you give another 50% points. It's not pretty. The last thing on that is it's possible that Niantic has decided to increase all tier 5 raid bosses to 50% more hit points. I hope that's not true based on the difficulty of some of the raids if they were to do that, but we'll see. Deoxys and certainly Deoxys Attack would be very good candidates them away from global range. Deoxys Attack. Okay, cool. So the other news about Mewtwo, of course, is there are new moves. We were told they were going to remove 2 moves, Shadow Ball and Focus Blast, and they certainly did. And sorry, not Shadow Ball and Focus Blast, Shadow Ball and Hyper Beam. Insane. Focus Blast is still here. I just thinking, just literally Focus Blast. See, Focus Blast still here and hard. So Thunderbolt, Flamethrower, and Ice Beam were the surprises. When I initially looked, it looked like they were decent moves. It turns out they're actually really pretty good. It makes me to a top 3 counter, sometimes a number 1 counter. And if all it costs is well, a lot of TMs if you're trying to switch back and forth. It's pretty good if you need to fill in your counters. So we'll talk about that later. And the final thing, of course, is Mewtwo's giving out 5 candy, which is great for a month. So hopefully you can power up a few of them. if you are ultra friends with someone, you can also try trading for 16 stardust and see if you get a lucky one. But if you trade 10 of them, you on average should get one. If it's a 10%, it's somewhere around there. Which only costs you, what is that, 16,000 stardust, and the cost of power up Mewtwo all the way 40 is a lot harder than that, so saving a lot higher than that, so saving half of that is a pretty good deal. You may want to consider that. Because you should be catching a lot of Mewtwo if you want. Handy. Okay, so counters. This is the infographic that we put together. It's really hard to put together infographics like this because with 5 moves, everything sort of gets countered by something. Things move around a lot, and so we try our best to try and give the highlights, what to do on the counters. I'll be looking in a second on actual sim results and clicking around a little bit and showing some highlights there. But in general, you're looking for Ghost move. Shadow Ball is amazing, possibly the best move to go. Granitar, you really want Double Dark. If you have Double Rock, it's not quite good enough to make this list. But if you have Dark Rock, it's probably good enough. Yeah, you want to avoid Focus Blast if you're using Tyranitar because you will get one-shotted and sometimes do. Gengar, you do need to be level 32 to survive 3 confusions with max defense and stamina. So make sure you have less IV than that. Make sure your Gengar is higher level than that. Gengar is number 1 in some regards. Very, very high DPS, certainly against Focus Blast. Pinsir, probably the biggest gain. He wasn't even on the counter list before. With the extra hit points, it turns out pretty much everyone has to rejoin, so Pinsir's main downside is gated, and he does quite well. Takes no Stardust, no candy, you just go catch one, level 30 35, and he'll do great. Houndoom, quite common. You should be able to fill out a team of 6 between Pinsir and Houndoom. Sizer, not too rare either. The other good counters, Rayquaza, and to a lesser extent the other dragons as well, are generically good counters. If you have level 40s of those, they will typically make your top 6 until you're quite a bit into level 40. So it's really efficient use of Stardust and Candy to power up those generic counters, such as Rayquaza. The other Dark Ghost movers, they're great. And look really cool with your low Guk and still 5-man problem. And if you caught some of those Sky Attack Ultras, they're definitely full here. And I need some coffee because cool. Sunny weather. You have your fire guys. Windy weather, you have your windy guys. Or dragon guys, I guess you could say. Got your ghosts and darks and the fog, and Pinsir actually becomes number 1 in rainy weather, which is exciting. And use your Kyogre if you have one. Cool. So let's just switch over to the actual YouTube counters. This is the website, of course. This is the average number of players it takes looking at level 35. Weather, no friendship bonus. So it's just under 4 players if you have basically a mix of these 6. That's the average of these 6. So if you have, 1 Mewtwo, Probably don't have a Gengar. I have one Gengar. Shadow Claw. The other moves aren't that bad though. So if you look, Sucker Punch is a little bit slower, but 1090 is still quite respectable, and it's actually just barely slower than Tyranitar. The number of deaths is a lot higher than Tyranitar. Estimator ranking, by the way, is the same as Time to Win, but does include join times. So that is why Gengar has a hard time compared to his Time to Win. So despite a lower Time to Win than Mewtwo, the rejoins, due to having double the number of deaths, ends up dropping him in this ranking. This ranking assumes you have 5 other people who are using terrible counters in the raid with you. I don't know if I'd call myself the G. Thanks. Cool. So people haven't used the site before. There's easy ways to click up here between extreme and your friendship bonus. So today it's nice and sunny. And be a little bit faster for you. I'm putting video at the same time. Apologize. Not friends. I am ultra friends with my very pregnant wife. And the difficulty rating drops down a little bit, 3.59. Oh, look at this. Moltres pops up. Entei. Obviously, Pinsir doesn't really improve that much from the weather bonus, but does get the friendship bonus, dropping below 4 on the estimator. Houndoom, well. And of course, we're getting close to 3-man territory. Right. Down here, you can change your attacker level. Barely get. Yeah. So, all these results are heavily cached on the server, so they're generally quite fast. However, on this was announced, the site would have been a little bit slow as we were generating the first results. It's important for us to get all those results out to you as quickly as we can, so that you can go down here and see under Sunny Ultra Friends level, I want to use Gengar. So pick your moves here. Switch back to level 5. Friends. Okay, cool. So these moves are in the order of difficulty level. You can see the average difficulty over the right side. And so Focus Blast is the most difficult. Check. The Tyranitar drops down here to number 6. Still reasonable, actually. Only 50 deaths. Gengar still dies more. Or not. But with the deaths, it makes it harder to get those crunches off. Crunch is a rather slow move. Bite does not charge up crunch that quickly. And Focus Blast will just one shot. It is important to look here, Gengar. So if we drop this down to 30, Gengar has a very hard time. Fusion. Gengar dropped all the way down here. The issue is Gengar can't survive 3. So the other new moves, of course, we have our Thunderbolt, our Ice Beam, our Flamethrower. Thunderbolt's not that different than the general rankings. We have Tyranitar, Mewtwo, Gengar. Mewtwo and Tyranitar are almost tied here. Mewtwo has a lot more deaths. So depending on the size of the group and the number of people we have, which one is number 1 will actually change. Basically a Tyranitar, if you use 6 Mewtwo without rejoining, you will beat Tyranitar. Tyranitar was 6 without rejoining, you beat Mewtwo, but if you both have to rejoin, Mewtwo. That makes sense to you? Cool. So we got our bug guys. Down to, Cacturn. Sorry, there's a lot of very interesting guys down here. Scroll down if you're looking for weird 5-mans and want to troll the people you're raiding with. Feel free to pull in some weather boosted Shiftries, your Sharpedos, and who has a double bug Heracross? Okay. And even your Shadow Claw Overheat Typhlosion is good enough to 5-man. Everyone likes to use the best Pokemon. They're, 25% better. Bottom of the list, so worth using. Up here we're close to 50%. Let's see, that was Thunderbolt. We have Ice Beam. Doesn't really change anything. Kyogre. And Flamethrower. We're saying like, oh, it really hurts Pinsir. It doesn't. I mean, yes, it's 78 deaths, but since everyone has to rejoin so often, it really doesn't matter. You're pretty much just want either 6 good Pokemon with max revives, or if you're real slow on the max revives, you just phone or whatever. You want 12 Pokemon. The best 6 first, and then your next best 6. Probably want a slightly tinkier one as your, and you can take some damage before you. Alola Muck pops up all over the place. Of course, Psycho Cut in general is going to be easier. It does, however, build up energy faster and seems to pair for whatever reason. Ice Beam. We're actually trying to use Mewtwo. Well, let's move over. So this is the main raid page. You can look at every raid that's ever come out. You have every Legacy 3, every Legacy 4, custom raids, anything here if you want to run. Anything, just come over here and this access. Cool. So we look at tier 6 Deoxys. Not sure if anyone's actually. Here we are. Tier 6 Deoxys is up here, still 3-mana ball. And Deoxys attack. Hooray, we're just in a 2-man territory. I don't think they're ever going to put Deoxys attack as a raid boss. This is just silly, and the deaths are high enough that with the healing rejoin, it's going to be going to solo, even if you have a bunch of Tyrantars and Weather Boost and all that, which is still soloable. It's just level 35, but yes, they should just move. That speed right there is the speed if there's never anyone or 0.98. So still solo ball is a tier 6. And if no one has looked at our results, that is the okay. The article, I think I probably didn't spend enough time analyzing. Ice Beam Mewtwo is good. Faster than Jinx at level 35. What is that? Right. That may move around a little bit depending on breakpoints. 40. Ultra. Still a little bit faster than Jinx. Yeah, Ice Beam is really good. Certainly better than the Articuno I've been trying to max out. So I love Articuno. I like shiny one. But Mewtwo with Psychic and Ice Beam is going to be really good against dragons. At least flying dragons. Probably good against any flying Pokemon. Let's check generic flying Pokemon. I'm sorry. I'm being stupid. What the hell I'm screwed. Oh, O's duel. I always forget who resists what. Yeah. So, as I thought, without the double, it's not. Ice Beam's not as good as Shadow Ball, so Zero Shadow Ball should beat it. Yeah, one of the reasons I made Pokebattler is because I can never remember what's going to get what. So I barely remember what resists what for all this time. Okay, on to lightning moves. Raikou and Zapdos are both better than Mewtwo, so probably not worth going for a lightning one. This against Kyogre. Still quite good though. You're looking for counter by generic community DMs to switch. And then this is against Venustar. You know, as a fire Pokemon, it's quite well. Fire spin overheats at 400. So basically, you're about the same with Confusion Flamethrower as Fire Spin over. I haven't figured out why, but sometimes Confusion is better, sometimes Psychic Cut is better, depending on what Pokemon you're hitting. It's probably breakpoints. May switch back and forth at level 35 to 40, but it's possible that due to the speed of the move, it may. Confusion is very slow. More analysis to do there. Let's see. That's 6 minutes to go. So last thing I want to do is sort of show you what to do if you're struggling to beat Mewtwo, but you have Stardust. And I'm going to log in as myself or my wife. Or do me. So here's all my Pokemon. Sorted by name. There's a little sort button up here, by the way, which a lot of people notice. By CP, my ogres, my stars. You sort by ID, you see the most recent Pokemon you've added. So you can see I added this. My lucky G. Got that. Sort by Pokemon, sort by name. I'm probably gonna be adding filter onto here if I ever get the time, so you can just like in the game, like filter it down. That should. Okay, cool. So here's all your Pokemon. This is just like you're in the game, and what the heck am I supposed to power up? I have no idea. I have hundreds of Pokemon. So we're gonna click over here on the raids. You can also click down here, by the way. And we're trying to beat Mewtwo. How am I doing? Good. 3.4. Oh, that's with the Ultra Friends. I don't want to cheat. So 3.65. I'm a little bit better than on average level 35 Pokemon. There's my Gengar. Got my Tyrantars and my Mewtwo. Right? 3.65. Now, my second team starts dropping all the way down to 4.3. Right? Like, okay, what if I powered up? So power up button, you click it. So here you can modify the settings all you want. You can change your stardust down or the amount of candy you have available, and it will stay within that. How lucky is a feature? Probably for another talk, but it lets you pick whether you want to beat what's the best to beat you 75% of the time, 90%. Okay. So here we go. If I spend a whole bunch, I can move my Mewtwo up above my Tyranitar. The question is, sure, I can just max it out. How many power-ups do I need? Move it over Tyranitar. Mewtwo versus Mewtwo. This is my Mewtwo. My moves. Do it. And there's a nice pretty graph here, and estimate. Go to curve. So 9 power-ups, I get to 3.60, which below the 363, I believe the Tyrantars are pushing. Right, I'm at 370. Is this worth really powering up? That's quite a bit of stardust and candy. For except here, if I actually did power it up, I would click on one of these buttons. Oops. Let me undo that. Cool. So is the audio cutting out? It's possible. I'm not speaking towards the microphone, so I should try and speak to the mic. Sorry. Hope that's better. Okay, cool. So we're almost out of time. Advice section. So yeah, you can see what to power up, and you can go in here and you can actually see me. I have some Bite Crunch Tyrantars that do have significant gains. Right, from 386 down to 364. And if you look at something like here, you can see my pincer, if I just do 3 power-ups, will jump it up to 4.2. So this is a pretty major breakpoint for Pinsir. I don't know what the breakpoint is. I don't really care, honestly. Anyways, that's it for the main discussion. So if people have any questions, feel free to ask, and I will answer them. Looks like no questions. Okay, thank you all for joining me on my very first live stream. I hope I didn't screw up the audio too much or any of the settings. Let me know what you think. This is, I don't even know how to turn this. I found it. Okay, cool. Until next time. Oh, how can I compare 100% Tyranitar versus 0% Tyranitar? Ah. Oh, okay. 100% versus 0%. So you did not do that. Okay, sorry for the feedback, guys. Okay. Back under here on counters. So there's a couple ways. One is if you have an empty Pokebox, you can just put 2 Pokemon in and compare it there. But there's also this spreadsheet. So, but what I would normally do is I'd come in here, switch it back to by level. This is level 40. So you click there and you click this. And let me unmax. So I just right click that to run this simulation again. So there are 2 different Tyranitars here. Now down here, you can slowly change the attacks, CPs, actually cheat. So in the URL, it has a CP. So change it to click once. This is hexadecimal, so an F is 15. Right, so that's only a 50-second difference in time to win. You die a lot faster, of course. You die, but still with the rejoins, right? In 300 seconds, you're gonna have to rejoin once. I mean, either way, so that doesn't matter too much. So that answers the question. It's a little hokey, I agree. In the spreadsheet, you can do that as well. It's a little better one. How does Mewtwo with new charge moves stack up against other Metamon with fire ice moves? So I talked about that, but it looks, ice looks like it might be a #1 counter. So if you just go to, I don't have the tab open anymore. You go and you find something that is double vulnerable to ice. Like poison. You see Mewtwo actually beats out on the fire, pretty good. It's about as good as I was showing over here as Moltres with Fire Spin Overheat, about the same as Mewtwo. Sky Tech is better. Venusaur. On the Thunder, it's worse than Raikou and Zapdos. Okay, I think that's the last question. I'd like to thank you all for watching. Hopefully I didn't mess this up too much. It's definitely my first time. It's an interesting learning experience. Let me know on Discord, or you can comment on the video what you thought. Thanks so much for participating. And I'll probably be doing live streams weekly for the weekly raid report. It'll be a lot faster for us to go over what's popular. I think everyone will be surprised exactly how popular Mewtwo is. It's ridiculously popular as well. So, until next time, everyone. Pokebattler signing out.